Hey, good morning. It's time to get up, get cracking, and get to cracking. If you on the sea, go after that big old sea creature and take care of it. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to another great edition of Ed Henry's Wake Up Patriots. Your Patriots, we're waking up. It's all good. And so, someone else who's waking up this morning and is always bright and cheerful is Chris Cardeni. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning and good morning, Patriots. There we go. And hopefully you're enjoying the day as much as I am. The left is losing and it's getting worse for them. And I'm enjoying the fun.
So, yeah, it's going to be a great January. It already is. I mean, we're only like 7 days in, which means we've got 2 weeks to Donald Trump's return and 3 weeks until February. And as we had yesterday, we had Fran Ventura on talking about the Veterans Parade Gala in Mar-a-Lago on the 13th of February. So that's right after January. But speaking of other things which are gala-like, let's bring in Karyn Turk. Karyn, good morning. She's like
Good
her own
morning.
gala. She's like a walking
That's
gala.
great. I mean, I love a good gala, but I thought you
She
were going to
does.
actually go with Patriot. I thought you were going to say, and now here comes Karen Turk, the Patriot. And you went with the gala, which is great. I like that too. So,
You're a
it's
patriot,
it's
but
a
you can be a
win-win.
patriot every day, but you can only have a gala once in a while. So you got to be you were always out doing. For those who don't follow you, they should because you're always doing elegant things. I see your stuff on social media.
Thanks.
You're always doing cool things. So good morning, Karen.
I do. I'm very grateful. I live a fabulous life. And it's funny because I was just reading Jesus Calling. That's why I had my glasses on. And today it's all about gratitude. So I don't know about you, but this year I've made a couple of resolutions. I'm sure we all have. And one of mine is to be more grateful. So I'm going to try to
Yeah.
be more optimistic and grateful in the new year.
Well, look. Let's be honest. If you're watching this, you're probably grateful because you're just a great American. Only great Americans. That's in fact we should make a policy, Karen. Right, right, Chris.
Yeah.
Only
Okay.
great Americans can watch this show. Only grateful. If you're not grateful, get out of here. Just go. Go away.
Our
Don't come
audience
back.
is the best. I
Go.
mean, I just look at how everybody has stuck around through the trials and tribulations and the
That's
roller
right.
coaster ride of the past few years from Donald Trump on
That's
down
right.
to me and you,
That's right.
Tony. Like it has been a wild and crazy ride. And I am forever grateful and thankful for the community that we have in the Rumble chat and that Patriots wake up every single Tuesday morning and come here to actually hang out with me as I drink my tea and read Jesus Calling with you guys. I mean, I don't know. This is the life. So when you talk about elegant, that's elegant. I love what I
It
do.
is
I'm
elegant.
very, very
Elegant,
lucky.
an elegant solution. And we're going to talk about Jesus calling in a second, but I do want to make that something that people do remember. Now, 4 years ago, yesterday was January 6th, 2021. And well, we're going to talk about it here in a second because the left wing nuts are going nuts as they always do.
Yes.
But notably, here we are. To your point, we've survived. We're doing better than ever, and
Uh-huh.
I think challenges. I think having to walk through the wilderness of pain and suffering makes us stronger. What do you think, Karen?
I do. And, if anybody's an example of that, that's going to be our 47th president. I mean, look at
Oh yeah,
everything that's happened. Look at where we are and look at what we still have to accomplish. I mean, look at this whole thing going on with the offshore drilling and what Biden's
oh,
trying to do right before he comes in office. It's just absolutely a travesty. Giving the, Presidential Medal of Freedom to, people like George Soros and Hillary Clinton. And what planet am I living on? And sometimes I watch this and I think this is really like a demonic alternative reality that's been going on for the last 4 years. And I just thank God every day that it's a new year, it's 2025. You can't look back, you can always go forward. Somebody once said to me, I want to say, I'm going to probably quote Roger Stone, my good friend who I love to thrift shop with, but that also gives very, very good advice. And he said to me, there's strength in the struggle, and also that, the comeback is always greater than the setback.
oh yeah.
And he's one of those people that, if you don't know him personally like I do, you really, I don't think, know the real guy because it's been painted as this villainous figure so many times. And the guy that I know is a grandpa and a dad and a father, and all of these amazing qualities that make a well-rounded human being, and they've taken so many shots at him. So, I could use him as an example of what's changed in the world, or Donald Trump, or anybody else. But yeah, you bring up January 6th, 2021, and I get goosebumps. The back
Yeah.
of my neck, the hair stands up.
Well, I was there. So, but yeah, I know Roger. He's a great guy. I appreciate your kind of giving the audience a sense of his human side. I think that's something that's
Yeah.
lost often when people are vilified by the left, which we're going to talk more about that in a second. That's our first story here in a second. With that said, I want to stay on this thread for a second because I was there on January 2021. And again, firsthand personal account, it was like a carnival. People were happy. There was no
Right.
bitterness.
I was supposed to be there.
It was
The
a mostly
Trump
folks-
peaceful protest, basically.
It was.
That's the definition.
It was a
of mostly
gathering
peaceful
of great
protest.
patriots,
Grandmas-
that
gathering.
went there
Grandmas and
to.
grandpas.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there. I was on probation. This is a true story. And I had sent a letter. And of course, I had asked to travel for work. I was able to travel. I wasn't restricted from doing things. I just had to give notification and proper notice and follow a process. And I sent him my email and I said, I have an opportunity to speak on the ellipse. And everything was very convoluted. Nobody knew who was holding the permit. There was the Kramer sisters. There was Caroline Wren. I mean, and all these people
Oh yeah,
have been
I
dragged
saw that
through the
chaos.
press
Yeah.
in chaos. And I don't know
Oh, yeah.
what the real story is. And you know what? God bless everybody, because people were there with good intentions. I don't know
Right.
where everything
Right.
went wrong. And we could speculate. We've never gotten any answers. But they gave me approval so quick, Tony, so quick to be there. And I just had a bad gut feeling. And as things started to unfold, I decided not to go. I actually pulled the plug. I had a friend who was taking his plane. I called him up. I said, I don't want to go. I gave my spot to a woman that I no longer speak to, who was on my former network, who desperately wanted to go and be a part of things. And from what I heard, she stole Roger's golf cart in the front of the Willard Hotel and took off. And he was pissed. And there were a million things that were happening. But, up until the moment that the left-sided media went crazy, what I was hearing from people was utterly positive. And then something went sideways, and Roger said, I'm in the hotel, and my publicist texted me and said, thank God you didn't come. And that was it. And the world went crazy. And I thought, how can this be happening? And I thought, thank God, God intervened that I didn't go. I'd be in jail right now, Tony.
You're going to see at any large gathering some kind of agitator, whether it be a false flag or not. Some kind of agitator is making things look bad for the other people. And this is let's take this back. This was not the same thing as as the 529 insurrection, where the president had to be hidden or taken out of there.
No.
This is nothing
Yeah,
like the St. Floyd riots, which were real violent protests. This was agitated. It was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a very small percentage
Chris,
of people who actually tried to storm the Capitol.
The word is curated. It was
Oh,
curated
that's
by
right,
Nancy Pelosi.
A better
It
word.
was all
Yeah.
There was a strategy. There was an arc
Yes.
of evil that
Tony,
was set up.
That's true.
I wasn't there, and I was in the first letter that was released from Nancy Pelosi. I was in the first letter. I never even went.
Yeah, that's what
That
I'm
was
saying.
the moment that
It
I
was a
knew
setup.
they set this thing up before.
It was a setup.
Tell me something different, but I see the writing on the wall.
Well, that was the plan too. And if you think about this, they knew that there was going to be some kind of large gathering. The idea is to stir up a controversy, keep repeating
Exactly.
over and over the word insurrection, which it wasn't.
Right.
That was not an insurrection. They would keep
No.
repeating it over and
This-
try to pull a fast one on the American
Right.
public for 4 years. Didn't
This
work.
was right. So, Chris, this was the same thing. And I know people, just go with me for a second on this. This was the same thing as the Russia collusion narrative.
Right.
It was all designed to put a stake in the heart of Donald Trump and end him. This was supposed to be, well, we'll get you and your little dog too, with their flying monkeys,
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi, and it didn't work
Yeah.
again. So just saying. But I digress.
Yeah.
And I have nothing against, for the folks, don't complain. I have nothing against flying monkeys. I just have something against those who work for Nancy Pelosi. Just saying. So don't write the show.
Well,
So
she,
it's
You
okay.
know, don't blame the dog, blame the owner. Is that what you're saying, Tony? Remember
right.
when
That's right.
when
That's
Major
right.
was biting everyone in the White
That's right.
House? Whatever happened with those
by the way,
dogs? Does he even have a dog anymore?
I appreciate the fact that Nancy Pelosi is a fashion pioneer and she's making walkers great again. Isn't that great? She was
Oh,
on the she was on the
oh well.
house.
No, well,
She's
she's still using those flying monkeys too, but they're to a lesser extent. Now they're just going
yeah.
on they're just going on liquor and ice cream runs for her.
Yeah. Well,
Now that she
that
can,
vodka flavored ice cream is pretty popular in the House caucus. Just saying. That's good
that's how
stuff.
she gets hammered.
Yeah. Anyway, but
Ooh,
let's
that was good, Chris.
let's continue. Let's continue here before we
Win-win.
get in more trouble. Before the evil overlord
Oh, we're getting a little trouble
intersects.
here.
Yes. Good morning, Ed. Anyway, so without further ado, Karyn, why don't you do Jesus Calling? Because that's a good.
I would love to. I would love to.
Go
I mean,
back into the
I have to get
evil.
off my soapbox and
Go back into the evil
definitely.
of CNN, which we're going to talk about in a second. So,
Okay, cool. Little
there's a lot
reset.
of evil.
So today's Jesus calling is really good. It's what we're talking about, being grateful. It's impossible to praise or thank me too much. As it is written, I inhabit the praises of my people. Sometimes your love is a spontaneous overflow of joy in response to radiant beauty or rich blessings. At other times, your praise is more disciplined and measured, an act of your will. I dwell equally in both types of praise. Thankfulness is also a royal road to draw near to me. A thankful heart has plenty of room for me. When you thank me for the many pleasures I provide, when you affirm that I am God from whom all blessings flow, when adversity strikes and you thank me anyway, your trust in my sovereignty is a showpiece in invisible realms. Fill up the spare moments of your life with praise and thanksgiving. This joyous discipline will help you live in the intimacy of my presence. Beautiful today, guys. I absolutely love that one. January 7th, Jesus calling right here.
And keep in mind,
Wonderful. Thank you, Karyn.
And Jesus calling
You're
is not to be
welcome.
confused with Vienna calling from Falco, the late
That's right.
Falco, by the way. Great song.
That's right.
Huh.
Yeah, it is a great
I
song.
don't
And he
know
used to
that
call me
one.
Collect, by the way. Just saying. I used to always say no.
Ooh, Vienna
I
calling.
can't take those charges. So
Vienna calling was the follow-up single from Falco 3, the album, to Rock Me Amadeus. If
Okay,
you
that I
remember that
remember.
well,
one, that's right.
he
That was
did
a
a great version
classic.
of he did a great version of All Is Clar here, Commissar. The what is the name of that
That's his.
song? Oh my
It's the
God, it was
original. Der Kommissar was Falco. After the fire
Rock the
the
covered
Commissar.
Falco.
Casbah?
No,
Rock the
no, Der
Casbah?
Kommissar. Der
The
Kommissar was
Commissar,
Falco originally. That's originally
Yeah.
Falco. After the
and they
fire
translated it into
covered,
English. Yeah,
right, they covered that one. The third
that's a great
song from that
song.
album, the third from that song out was Genie. Genie was a controversial song from the album because it was about a rape, a crime, from the point of view of the rapist, and the song had four parts to it. Genie Part One, which was banned in a lot of some countries. Genie Part Two was Coming Home, where he was released from jail and restalked Genie. Then there was Genie 3, where he obsesses about her, and then Genie 4, and I believe there was a Genie 5, if I remember correctly. It was like sort of uh, a I know there were four, but I think there was a fifth, and the one of them was recorded after Falco's death by the writers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, there's even a more controversial song than that called Wiener Blut.
Wiener Blut, that was from the album Wiener Blut, a great song.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's a great song. So
He had
all
to
the
cover.
things we're talking about today, he was seeing coming because it's all about corporate control and the blood of patriots being wasted. It's pretty good. It's not for the casual observer. It's not like gross. Well, it's a bit gross, yes, but it makes a great point. And he basically kind of lays out the corporate shilling, the EU becoming a bunch of, I don't know, what would you call the EU? A bunch of Justin Trudeau's? I guess that's who they are.
Yeah. Or what would
We'll
you
talk
call them?
about him.
Surrender monkeys? Isn't that what you would call them?
Surrender monkeys. Anyway, anyway,
Flying
that's great.
monkeys? Are they flying monkeys?
Well, there's
Ooh.
well, no, you've got both.
You do.
In France, they're called surrender monkeys because they surrender. It's kind of in the name, right? So anyway, we got to move on. But for those who, yeah, there he is. There's Falco. A great artist, by the way.
He actually does
Really
a cover of
talented
"Do It
guy.
Again" from Steely Dan in this album too. I actually have all his albums, so
I did not know that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
yes, great
Well, anyway,
album.
speaking of doing it again, CNN is doing it again, right? So CNN when I think of charming and being grateful, I'm grateful that I'm not at CNN and they're not charming. So it's a great combination. So what do we have here, Chris? Tell us about this a little bit before we get into it.
Well, apparently, Kate Boldman and Scott Jennings were going
Kate.
at it against each other. They were absolutely angry about this whole thing. They were talking about something else. Then, of course, Jennings brings up January 6th, and she gets all the liberal panelist and the host were just going off on him and trying to get him to stop talking about it because they were lying. He wouldn't let them lie. And here's what happened. I think I have something. This is from a compilation from, I believe, Mediaites. Let's see if they have this full thing here. All right. And there we go. Unfortunately, they have to do this. So I'm going to have to try to pull up another version of this, unfortunately, but we'll get that done. So bear with me while I do this, okay? Just
All right. All right.
Okay. All right. We're here. I'm in the
we'll talk
chat.
about-
I want to say happy birthday to Beach Cat. I'll do a birthday shout out
Oh, yeah.
while we're
Happy
waiting,
birthday.
Chris.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, having a little trouble with there's a little technical difficulty here. So talk amongst yourselves while I pull it up.
We are talking.
Okay,
let's
we're
talk about-
talking. We want to talk about the
flying
chat.
monkeys,
Flying monkeys?
and surrender monkeys. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to give Trixie and Proud American Woman and USN and TSM and Denise and Beach Cat Blues and Insider and everybody a shout out because everybody's in the chat this morning. It's really good to see everyone.
Speaking of a shout out, I want to give a shout out to Sea of Mud. I'm wearing one of his great T-shirts.
How we got
He was in the
here.
chat yesterday. I
Is
hope
it-
he's here today. Good.
I
I
love
always
it.
enjoy wearing his stuff. So there you go. I've got
Yeah,
another-
his
I'll probably wear
his
this
shirts are
And a
so
political-
soft.
They
so
are. This is
soft.
great
They are-
stuff. Yeah.
Scott,
So there we go. I believe I have it right here.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. Now this is a little. It's a nice little discussion talking about January 6th.
in a political sense, is it how we got here? Is interesting, and you can see the evolution. You can play all the sound bites from the days after when you heard Republicans blaming Donald Trump, some being short of saying he should be impeached, saying he should be held accountable. And 4 years later, we are here. It is a stunning political comeback attributed to how Trump played it afterward, how Democrats played it afterward, or something else.
Well, I think it's some mixture of everything. But to me, the big message is that in the United States, the people decide. And because of the disastrous 4 years that came after Donald Trump, the people decided to return Donald Trump to power. And that's fundamentally what happened. They looked at what happened on January the 6th. They looked at all the things Democrats claimed about Donald Trump. And they also analyzed every single decision that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris made. And they delivered Donald Trump a convincing victory 4 years later.
It is tough, though, Scott, because when you say the people decide, that's what people tried to make sure didn't happen on January 6th, was allowing the people to decide.
And the machinery turned. It was a
the
terrible.
lack of acknowledgement of how bad it was in the aftermath.
I mean, I think a
Is-
great many people have acknowledged it, but also what happened that day.
A great many,
The machinery turned.
There we go.
Joe Biden became the president. He had one of the worst terms of any U.S. president, and then the people scrambled back to Donald Trump. That is the history of what happened.
Hey, look at the looks in their faces
you go.
right now. Yep, look at the looks in their faces. It's going to get a little more contentious.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I look at today.
This guy lies.
Donald Trump is
Yes.
inheriting
Watch this.
one of the best economies that a president has inherited in a very long
Oh,
time.
since when?
If you look at the fact that something like net migration at the border is lower than it was even before Donald Trump took office. If you want to look at the stock market, you're looking at the stock market
But two things
rising.
can't be true. No, but two
But hold
things.
on, I'm not even finished running it down yet.
Control.
This is
Two
the
things
first
can
time.
be
This
true.
is
The
the first time.
border needs to be secured
hold on 1 second.
further, and this numbers can be
But this is
accurate.
the first time. This is the first time in dozens of years that a president has actually inherited a government where we don't have soldiers overseas in active combat.
That's not
zones.
true. That's
So-
an absolute
That's
lie.
a lie. That's-
Absolute lie. And Jennings calls him out. Keep going. Jennings calls him out.
I mean, let's actually look at where we are. We actually, or he is actually inheriting a government right now that is much better than any predecessor he's had before.
no.
Oh, wait. I thought the Obama disaster was a great economy too. That was an inherited economy. Again, Trump inherited an economy in 2016 after a president was saying the days of 3% GDP growth are over. Of course, first year
Yeah.
Trump gets in.
Well, keep going. Keep going. I want to
I
hear Scott go after this.
Okay. I mean, I recognize that was the argument that was made during the election. And I would also like to recognize that the American people soundly rejected that argument. We do have American troops in forward locations all over the world.
Not in combat zones.
But they are
we
in
do.
hot spots. I mean,
But not in combat
we
zones.
just had an American
They're in
soldier die
combat
not
zones.
too long ago in the Middle East.
Correct.
trying
And
to
they're
fix-
protecting our freedom every
trying
day.
to,
But
trying to fix Joe Biden's $300 million public relations peer for Gaza. I mean, the reality is migration was a disaster. Immigration was a disaster for 3.5 years, and they tried to window dress it for the last 6 months. Inflation was a disaster for all 4 years. The economy is not working for most people. That's why Democrats lost the election, and that's why they're going back to Trump.
Here it comes.
Democrats lost the election. Nobody's arguing that. I mean, that's what the argument was 4 years ago when Donald Trump was filing lawsuits and they were raiding the White House. What we are saying, though, is that prices are going down. What I am saying is murder rates. They actually are going down.
Inflation is still
It's
going
plateauing.
up.
It is decreasing in rate, which is the entire goal.
But
of
are
the
prices
Federal
going
Reserve.
down or not? Just to be clear. No, they're not.
They
going
are down
And they're
from
tw-
their sky
and they're-
high rates.
Yeah, actually,
No.
Let's move on. Next up for
We were just arguing over combat zones. I don't know where we are this morning.
you can argue with
You guys are trying to paint a picture of a
I'm
country that
not.
doesn't exist.
I'm not painting anything. I'm painting. Stop talking.
That was a
That's what
fact.
I'm painting.
Ooh.
Zip it.
Ooh.
Zip it. Oh my God. It's like, what is she?
That's
what
right.
does she think?
Wow.
What is
Can
she
you
think she
imagine
is,
living
Robert
with
Downey
her?
Jr.?
Can you imagine if that was your girlfriend, both of you? Like, can you imagine if she was
Ooh.
your girlfriend, like what your life would be like behind
Ooh,
the
no.
scenes? Like, can you imagine what she's like when she's not on set?
Well, she better be. Well,
Man.
no.
It's-
Anyway,
That's like, yeah, no, it's like Devo. Zip it good, right, Chris? Zip
you
it.
betcha.
Zip it good.
Crash and zip.
Da-da-da-da-da.
And by the way, if she acts like this, she
Right.
You
better
guys
Zip.
wanted this. So,
Zip.
I mean, this is great. The pun is really good. I just have to say that there was a lot of behind the scenes setup on this clip. So, everyone in the chat, you need to all talk about Devo now and go down a rabbit
That's right.
hole and think this
That's
is
right.
really funny because the two guys were all over this before the show. I think it's funny, but I don't know that I got as much pleasure out of this as you guys did. But I do remember the song, and it's a good one.
Well, let's
Yeah.
put it this way: when
Well-
a problem comes along, you have to whip it.
You must
And-
zip it.
And believe me, Joe Biden's causing so many problems.
Exactly.
You're going to have to give Biden. You're going to have to give Trump 3 cat o' nine tails instead of.
I
just
don't
we
think
should
I've
get,
ever in my career flat out told a guest to shut up. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that that's ever happened.
No.
Like, I
No, I
would,
would
I
never do
can't
that.
even
Okay,
imagine.
now we're going to try to dig up footage of Karyn trying to tell a guest to shut up.
I mean, I might have told, I
I
probably did tell somebody to shut up, but what is in the context of what they were saying? It was more like, maybe off topic, perhaps, maybe.
We should get.
I mean, there might be a clip. I'm just trying to cover my butt over here.
No, we should speak. We should get Weird Al Yankovic on the phone, and he should do a parody song of "Zip It" to "Whip It" for all the lyrics.
Where is
of the
he?
Biden administration. He's around.
Did he vote for Biden though? I need to know where
don't think
he's
so.
at.
didn't ask.
No.
him that one.
I don't think he's as. I think a lot of these. I don't know this. He's not in my little Hollywood coffee clutch, but
Yeah.
I know people who know him, and I don't think he digs all the liberal stuff. Think about this. He
Yeah, but he
has
also
to make
hasn't
his
come out
living-
with any songs bashing Biden and his incompetence. So
he
therefore,
hasn't done
I
any
am
songs like
inclined
that.
to believe that he might be on the other side.
He doesn't want to lose half his fans either. A lot of these people
Yeah.
want to stay out of
He's-
politics. They don't want to talk because they'll lose. They'll lose.
I
a lot.
know.
Right.
Yeah, I know this for a fact because I deal with a couple who don't want to alienate the half their audience by coming out strong as a conservative, and I respect that. I get that. If you're an entertainer, your job is to entertain, not to. We're clearly outed, right, Chris? We're out. We're out and proud, right?
Oh yeah, it's right. We
Yeah,
we
there's.
came
I
out
mean,
of the
for
closet
me,
for a long time, a long time ago.
to each his own, but I have to say at the beginning of that CNN clip, what stood out to me is they basically said, "We the people." And we the people is what this country was founded on. And I agree, like, let people do whatever they're good at. And, if you're a good
Exactly.
singer, go focus on that. God gave us each different talents. But where we might disagree, Tony, is I sort of think that that's a cop out. Like, I don't want to get involved. Well, you know what? When it's your kid and they're in a transgender bathroom, then you're going to care. And that's what bothers me when people aren't true about their convictions.
Well, let me kind of talk a little bit about that. The people you're talking about actually do a great deal behind the scenes to address that.
Yeah.
For example, our friend Cherie Curry. Cherie's doing a movie called Leaving Amy. I've met Amy. I've talked to the producers. Gays Against Groomers are part of the team. And so
Love that.
what happens behind the scenes, you may have people, there's people working to finance this, to produce it. They're not public, but they're equally devoted to working with Cherie. And so
I think that's beautiful.
Like some of these folks produce and use their talents in ways we don't see publicly. And so I'm fine with that because, again, there's some people behind the scenes helping Cherie, don't want to get into names, who, are still Hollywood A-list folks. But they choose to do it in such a way that they produce good content, very thoughtful content, but choose to say, I don't want my personal politics to get in the way of my being able to produce, to work in Hollywood. So
I think that's very admirable, that people are doing things behind the scenes and not asking for anything and being humble about their efforts. I think that's amazing. I also think it's amazing that all of a sudden, like, the world is shifting and, CNN, you can tell, like, they're going a little bit more mainstream now, where they were on the radical left not so long ago. I mean, they're still saying insurrection, but you can see how they're tilting. And isn't it interesting that now there's going to be a documentary on Melania Trump? Imagine that. How long did it take her? Well, this majestic, beautiful creature who deserves recognition on her own right outside of her husband. It took them a long time to wake up.
Speaking of majestic, we're going to bring in Vinny now. Good morning, Vinny.
Hey, cousin Vinny's with us.
Cousin Vinny.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
Are you snowed in up there, Vinny, in Jersey?
What's that, Toad?
Are you snowed in? Do you have
5
feet of snow?
No, we only got about 2-3 inches maybe, and then it's all melted in ice right now.
Have you paid your congestion pricing toll yet?
Not. Well, thank God I don't have to travel to the city. So,
where are you, cousin Vinny? Where are you?
I'm in Jersey right now.
Where in Jersey? You got to be more specific than that for me.
No, because the drones will fly over.
I'm down in Central Jersey right now.
Central Jersey. Okay, you can give me a county. I mean, are there that many people tracking you? A county's out of the question.
Don't bug the man.
Right.
He's in witness protection, Karyn. Don't. You can't give it away.
South Jersey, North Jersey. He goes with Central, which is the most innocuous of New Jersey you could possibly be.
Our guy.
Central Jersey. Nobody's in Central Jersey.
I'm in the woods.
He's our guy to make sure that Kathy Hochul takes a long voyage to the bottom of the sea, if you know what I mean.
That's it.
Okay. All right. I get that he's undercover, but Central Jersey, that's a stretch. I'm not buying it. I think he's probably either in Westchester County or Bergen County. He's either in New York, he's not in New Jersey at all, or I'm going to go with Bergen County. Maybe Passaic. That's my guess.
You
need to fly a drone. Fly your drone to figure it out. There we go.
Yeah, fly that
amazing.
Drone. All right. So what? Well, anyway, so Vinny, what's up? So, do you think you're going to go into the city just to take advantage of that congestion pricing? Don't you want to just give that money away to the state of New York?
Nope, I don't want to give a penny to the state of New York. I want all the money I gave to New York back. That's what I want.
Don't we all?
We all want a refund.
That's what I want. But it's kind of crazy. I mean, you got to pay a toll, then you got to pay $9 again, then you got to pay this, then you got to pay that. So you're going to work for nothing. Honestly, I mean, I was listening to what Elon Musk said. He said, you go to work, you pay taxes. You buy food, you pay taxes. You do this, you pay taxes. You own property, you got to pay taxes. He says it's ridiculous. People can't live. People can't survive.
No, I know. So he has, I think, a common sense approach. I was going through his feed this morning. And did you know, Vinny, that Macron feels that Musk having strong opinions is election interference? Did you know that?
Oh.
According to Macron, Musk saying bad things about Germany. Oh my God, a billionaire criticized Germany. Sacre bleu. Surrender monkeys. I guess they surrender and they don't like people talking bad about their neighbors. Just saying. What do I know? Anyway,
Nope.
but I'm just saying, according to the French leader,
Yeah, that's an oxymoron right there. French.
yeah,
leader.
Musk is a horrible man because he's got strong opinions.
But he's certainly
Vinny
fine with this guy.
Yeah, he's okay with that guy. That guy, destroying economies and turning little children into pillars of stone. But Musk is the problem. So,
And what I can't believe that Biden gave the highest medal to him, Hillary, and a few other crooks.
yeah,
That's like the biggest slap in the face to all Americans.
yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, Karyn. Did you see that he also gave the award besides Satan's left testicle, Hillary Clinton. Besides her, besides Hillary, he gave it to the right testicle too. Bill Nye, the science fraud. Did you see that? Bill Nye.
I really was so disturbed by the entire thing. And it's just so many things like every day. Sometimes I have to take a break. Like yesterday, and I mean, I do this for a living. And yesterday I shut it down because I couldn't watch anymore because it's so disgusting that it makes me just like nauseous. It makes me gag. How is this even possible? But, Bill Nye, I haven't seen him since he was on like television. I didn't know that he was a bleeding leftist. I had no idea.
No. You didn't see
No,
Bill
no.
Nye Saves the World? This guy had a short-lived podcast called Bill Nye Saves the World, and he brings up a chart with about 6 different sets of chromosome arrangements, trying to convince us there aren't really just 2 sexes, genders. There's
There's
many
not really
of them,
boys
and
and
this
girls
is the
anymore. He
combination
says
you
that.
can have.
Yeah,
Right.
it's evil.
Wow.
No, he's
I
definitely
don't
a
know.
propagandist. And the other guy too, by the way, the guy that thinks he's James Earl Jones. What the heck's his name? The guy with 3 names, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's another
that
propagandist as well.
Yeah, I read one of his books sort of by accident because he's on a lot of these like alien shows. And you guys know, like, I follow a lot of these nerdy cosmic quantum
me too.
physics
I follow that
shows.
stuff.
And he wrote a book and I started reading it. And there was something he said like in chapter 2. And I was like, wait a minute, what's this guy's position? I put the book down. Down.
Well, we're trying to get Nick Pope to come on here, talk about aliens, and we should reach out to Jojo Tsoukalos, who's a cool guy. He's got the wacky hair on History Channel. Great guy.
That's true.
I love
wait a second. You know him, Tony? Come on. I'm going to fangirl.
Tony
I'm going to
knows
go over the
everybody.
movie. No way.
We correspond on X. I know these guys. No, Newsmax had me go on for a morning segment on Nick Pope. They had me go on with Nick
He's
Pope.
an icon.
Yeah, I love Nick, so we go on, and next thing I know, I'm reaching out and talking to these folks. So we're all kind of I'm trying to bring them on. We'll have great discussions. But for the record, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a lizard person. But below that veneer, remember that series V? That's him.
Reptilians.
He eats whole.
Oh, yeah.
I think he
put him on the platter.
He hunts opossums and eats them whole, like just opens up.
Well, maybe that's where Bill Nye wasn't wrong. Maybe there are a lot of different types of human beings, and maybe it wasn't different sexes. Maybe it was demonic creatures. Maybe it was reptilians. I mean, who knows? I'm not going to take it off the table entirely.
So, Chris is speechless.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm thinking, speaking of reptiles, we did talk about Justin Trudeau stepping down. He finally did yesterday. That's another one. That's one of your favorite guys.
Justin Trudeau. Speaking of ha. Oh, hello, little girl.
There's a guy you don't want near your kids. And again,
he's got kids, apparently. According to him, he said he talked to his kids about this.
He is definitely one of those what we call pretty boy leftists that we see that have been popular since Obama was president.
And he's got fungible eyebrows.
Right,
he's got fungible eyebrows. They fall off.
People don't care as long as girls think he's cute. then the left is gonna promote him heavily. But I've always,
did you know that Oingo Boingo did a song based on Justin Trudeau? Did you know that, Chris?
what was it called?
I Like Little Girls.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. You mentioned that yesterday. Oh boy, see the senility is setting in. I'm turning into Joe Biden. Give me some ice cream. But I do
There
say
he
that,
is. Oh,
I
the
do
page.
say
Yes, that's it. Hey, good day.
he is. Yep. I do say
Hey,
that he is. Justin Trudeau is the Dr. Smith of politics.
That's true. That is true.
Doesn't that
That
suit
is so
fit him
true.
well? Oh, the pain of it all. The trucks are coming. I gotta hide from the trucks.
Look at those eyebrows, man! Oh man, you could put those on a 747 and get it off the ground. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, that's like a lot of drag on a face. Maybe that's why he has a hard time. Wind hits him and it just pushes him down. You just can't get the weight of the wind off of him. I mean, man, oh man.
Well, we also talked about how humiliating it was for Kamala Harris to have to read her own defeat yesterday.
Yeah.
It was fun. But
I want to talk about that, but let's stay with Justin for a second.
Right. Well, I'm going to that. What could be more humiliating for him and his possible replacement being Chrystia Freeland, who resigned and was the main cause, well, besides Donald Trump, of his downfall. It was Freeland and Trump that caused Trudeau's downfall. And
you don't think it's him being stupid?
Over.
You don't think him being stupid would cause his downfall? Because I think him being stupid is probably overrides all that. Just saying.
No, because he kept getting elected. Although in France, I'm sorry, Canada, same thing.
Same difference.
They elect a parliament, and I believe he had 30% of the popular vote his party did, and that's how he became prime minister.
Yeah,
that's far from a mandate. But this guy thinks he did. He thinks he can correct your pronouns mid-speech and act like he's a world leader. No, he's a consensus lucky guy.
And he did blackface. Just saying.
That's true. Well, again, you're a liberal. You can do that.
Yeah.
I also looked at his list of possible successors, and you know how we talked about the left being the elitist party. I think about this. What is more elite than this name? His possible successor, Francois Philippe Champagne. Just think about that. That's limousine liberal in 3 names right there.
Man, oh man!
Minister of Innovation,
Prime Minister Champagne. What? Can you bring another carafe, please? So, Vinny, you're going to go to Canada and help them sort out their nonsense? You got to go up there and just go into Parliament and say, "I'm here to help."
I can't. Well, I'm glad he's gone. Trudeau's gone from Canada. But I'm trying to put 2 together. I mean, he went to go see Trump a Mar-a-Lago, and then all of a sudden he's retired. So I guess Trump told him something: either do this or do that, or we're going to put you in jail. And I guess he just decided to resign.
Well, I think part of it is that I trust Trudeau went to beg, and this is something that we're going to have to sort out because we, the United States, give great benefit to Canada. Good day. I mean, if it wasn't for us, Bob and Doug McKenzie wouldn't be a thing, right?
Right, Karyn? And we wouldn't have men without hats.
Yeah.
Men without hats.
Right.
Because we underwrite Canada. As a matter of fact, we're not only under them, we underwrite them. And we give them great financial benefit by the fact we look the other way. They overcharge us for bacon. Just saying, I like Canadian bacon. But they charge way too much for it. And maple syrup, we could get all of our maple syrup from Vermont, but we don't. We go to Canada because we love Canadians, right? Right, Chris?
And with that, we do get good hockey players from them.
That's right.
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm a hockey.
And Montreal is very pretty in the spring for a moment when it's not freezing cold. So, I'm actually shocked that Canada has become such a big conversation. And, I think this Greenland thing too is fascinating. And when you think about all the natural resources and what Biden's trying to block, Trump is truly a genius bringing this up.
So, let's go through that a little bit because first, let's finish with Canada. Canada has given us some great talents, like Catherine Herridge, my friend Catherine. She's Canadian. Bill Shatner. Bill is Canadian. I don't know if you knew that, but Bill, Captain Kirk is not from Iowa. He's from Canada. So, all of you Star Trek fans out there, take notice that the greatest Captain Kirk ever is Canadian. So, by the way, he left Canada because he was too macho for Canada, right, Chris?
Yeah, I think that's why I left too, for that matter. That's why they wouldn't let Ellen in. Anyway,
That's great.
here's also the guy that might be taking over for him with the next
Oh
election.
yeah, he's great. This is a
Pierre
great interview.
Poilievre. And
This is a great interview.
yeah, so yeah, do you see this interview? But I want to play this because this
This is great.
shows this shows the new wave of real leadership around the world. The globalist
It's a good
rats are
interview.
scattering and they're going to be hiding. And this is one of the guys. I just love this interview, so let's hear it.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess.
Liberals do.
I mean,
What do you mean by that?
certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological thing.
I never really talk about left
But
or right.
anyways,
I don't really believe in that.
Okay. A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Yeah, good.
Well, I'm
him.
sure a great many Canadians, but
Like who?
I don't know who, but
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
you must know somebody.
okay. I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways,
Some
the
people
point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
What are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a
Okay.
page? Give me the page.
Project 2020.
keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a
guy's embarrassing.
it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
I'm not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question
Okay,
is.
then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense.
Okay.
Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't have any common sense in the current government. The guy prints $600 billion, grows our money supply by 32% in 3 years. That's growing the money 8 times faster than the economy. No wonder we have the worst inflation in 4 decades. I'm going to cap spending, cut waste so that we can balance the budget and bring down inflation and interest rates. You'll want to be able to pay your mortgage again. You want to be able to afford rent. Then you have to vote for Pierre Poilievre because I'm the only one with a common sense plan.
Now look at this guy, the reporter. First off, he was probably too afraid to say zip it. That's number one. Number two, doesn't he have a striking resemblance, at least physically, in certain ways, to Brian Stelter? Except Stelter has more hair. There you go.
Oh, Tony's muted. Tony's saying stuff, but nobody can hear him.
Tony, we
Oh,
can't
yeah,
hear
sorry,
you.
I had to go
Talking.
get coffee. No, he was, he looks
I
more
teed
like
that
he
one up.
looks
I
more
teed
like
that one up for you
he
too.
looks more like Tim Walz. He looks like Tim Walz. He does.
He
Tinkerbell.
probably shoots
So-
like him too.
A younger Tim
Vinny,
Waltz.
Vinny, you guys in Jersey, I love Jersey, and I'm not saying this because I don't have to. I love Jersey. I do. I have a lot of friends. I work with the Homeland Security folks there, still do. Do you think we should take some folks from New Jersey and put them into Ottawa and help Poilievre take over the country? Wouldn't that be fun?
They kind of need all the help they can get right now.
I think so.
I mean,
Common sense.
it's
It's a
crazy,
muscle.
but
Somewhere.
what I like seeing that's going on. I mean, all the countries now are finally waking up and taking over the government and trying to bring peace to everybody, make a better life for everybody. I mean, it's too crazy. You can't afford nothing no more. You can't do nothing no more. It's got out of hand.
It's nuts. So
It's
No,
crazy.
I think that at this point, it's very clear that we should have the discussion regarding Greenland too. Karyn brought up Greenland. Greenland, I think they have been badly served by the Danish. This a little bit of history for folks to understand why this is an issue. So back at the beginning of World War II, we had to. This is before the day of modern technology. We had to fly airplanes, the old prop airplanes. They weren't turboprops; they were old radial engine airplanes. They had limited range, so we had to basically get a place called Thule, Greenland. Thule is how do they pronounce that? We've got a base there still. And so we use Greenland as kind of a mid spot to send our planes across to the British and France. And yes, just you can thank us anytime, France and England, for saving your butts from the Nazis. Just saying. So, but during World War II, Greenland was kind of that big island that we would do. So anyway, so I think this is a valid conversation. Karyn, what do you think? Do you think we should have this conversation about absorbing Greenland?
You know what? I think it's a fascinating conversation, and it's not one that I would have ever thought of in a million years. And I can't believe we're even talking about this. But I absolutely love that Don Jr. is going there. But I think he has an ulterior motive. I think he likes to hunt. I think he's got some ice fishing in mind. I think something else is happening because he really doesn't want to get political, but this seems very political. And I love that for him too, because he's a brilliant human being. And it's great to see that the family is standing by their father and going into this next 4 years renewed and energetic and looking outside the box. This Greenland thing couldn't be any more outside the box. But when you think about the fact that Donald Trump is always playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers, sometimes I have to check myself. And when I heard this, I said, wow, what a brilliant move. Just as Biden is blocking him on the offshore drilling, this Greenland thing comes up and all of these natural resources, and the Canada things comes up and all the natural resources. And I went, wow, he was really way ahead of me on this one. Super smart.
Let's talk about that because because according to according to the Greenland Department of Environmental and Mineral Resources, right? Greenland Institute of Resources, that's what it was. They were discussing minerals that are in Greenland. You're talking about graphite, you're talking about lead and zinc, but you're also talking about silver, gold, and copper that are being mined for over there. Cryolite and rare earths. That's the big one. We need copper. We need zinc. We need, obviously, gold and silver, but definitely there's a chance that Greenland is fairly wealthy in rare earth metals. And if you've been paying attention, the BRICS nations, as it stands, could potentially, whereas as it stands now and as it stands potentially, could own 72% of the world's rare earth resources. So we need to hold something there too. This is where Greenland becomes more strategic, not necessarily militarily, but definitely, without a doubt, economically.
So I think I'm open to the idea of Canada becoming the 51st through 4th state. And let me finish, because you can, and Quebec, France, you can have Quebec. Just go.
But
and then we'll bring in Greenland. That's 55. That's 55. That's 50. Who can't drive 55? It's a great number. It's a round number, 55, right?
But again, that would turn the Senate into that would kill us, because with too many of these lefties over there would have Senate votes, would have.
I don't think.
Chris, I have to tell you, I think their brains are frozen in Canada as well, and that scares me when you're talking about that. I'm like, because eventually, these people were really, really, really woke and really, really, really left. You can't come back that quick.
No,
you can't trust them.
I don't know.
No,
we'll see.
These are people that think Barack Obama is a right wing Nazi. I mean, and again, that's also Nazi.
I don't know what he does behind the scenes. He and Michelle. Sorry,
those darn
socialists. I didn't mean to say that. So Vinny, what do you think? So don't you think we could take over Canada? Don't you think so?
But I didn't hear you going.
Oh, I think Vinny's having a little trouble there.
So I think we should take over Canada and Greenland both. We could just.
I think we should take Canada over. We should take Panama, especially Panama Canal, because now they're saying about China and sex trafficking in the containers and whatnot's going. What else is going on down there?
And funny you bring up Panama. The treaty cannot even be.
I mean, Trump told Trudeau, become a state, otherwise, we're going to jack up the tariffs. And I applaud Donald Trump for doing that. I mean, all these countries take our money, take loans, take this, and don't pay it back. Don't pay it back. I don't understand why we got to keep giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. And I know why we're giving the money to Ukraine, because they're laundering it. They're washing money left and right.
Well, it's about to end. So, well, but that's the thing. It's like we have allowed for us to become so used to the chaos and evil from the left. A lot of people just accept it. We have to stop that. But speaking of evil, I want to touch back on a couple of things that happened. You all probably know Sonny Hostin, right? That's your name, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, the evil Sonny Hostin.
Boy, that was a groan. Do you like have like a pain in your leg, or is that from Sonny?
Oh, first off, I don't even like the song "Sonny," and Sonny makes me hate that even more. Oh, but this is the good thing. The only good thing about Sonny Hostin anymore is that she actually makes Joy Behar look smart.
Yeah. So let's talk about this because I want to circle this back to a couple things she's talking about. So Sonny Hostin, is it Hostin or Hostin? I don't know. Anyway,
does it matter?
Sunny Day, Sonny. I don't want to. No, I'll leave it. I'll leave it there. She believes that this was like the Holocaust, and man, oh man, I just mentioned World War II. This wasn't 6 million people being shoved into furnaces. I don't think. Right, Chris? Am I missing something?
Oh, apparently everything is. Here's the thing with the left: everything is the Holocaust. Everything is Nazis. Everything you don't like is akin to the worst things that ever happened. Yeah, okay. So a bunch of people yelled at you and walked into the Capitol building. Oh my God, cry and whine. And this is hardly the days where politicians were rightfully afraid of the people who would tar and feather the likes of Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff on a regular basis if they did what they did back then.
No, you don't. We watch these clips, so you don't have to. Sonny Hostin got an applause line in the studio for saying that 6th of January was like the Holocaust. Now it's like, huh? What? Did I go to sleep and miss something? We opened the show today talking about what really happened. I was there at the Ellipse. It was a circus environment. And so, no, people weren't put on trains in mass, taken to concentration camps where they worked themselves to death, where some were summarily shot because, reasons, Nazis. And others were essentially tortured to the point of where through hard labor they died. So I don't know. Did anything I just say reflect something that happened on the 6th of January in 2021? Am I missing something?
Well, it did hurt liberals' feelings. So I guess that counts, right?
The fact I'm almost like upset that this is even being covered, that somebody would make such an asinine statement.
That's my
And
point.
the media, as much as I want information, I also and I love Breitbart. I love Breitbart so much, but I look at that and I'm just sickened by the fact that not only is ABC putting up with it, but then other media outlets are picking it up and the narrative is being perpetuated. And it's like a double-edged sword. It makes me really sad for where we are, right?
Well, but here's everything. Every time a lefty on social media says he's a Nazi, you're a Nazi, they're actually equating some kind of policy they didn't like to the Holocaust. That's exactly
they're devaluing human life. They're devaluing what actually happened. They're devaluing the murder of 6 million Jews. They are devaluing our freedom and us as Americans every time they don't stand up for Israel. It's just absolutely one of these things that just gets me right there, Tony.
Well, Karyn, that's my point. They continue to create this narrative where they beat us down. They say something outlandish and we ignore it. So I understand your point about not amplifying it, but at the same time, we've got to recognize this is a process. They do this. And so by extension, when they call Donald Trump and those patriots who showed up on the 6th and did whatever stupid stuff they did, they're all like Goring, Himmler, and all the other Nazis, which has got to stop. And remember, this became an issue with Mika and Joe.
Right.
Remember, Mika and Joe were calling him Nazi. Oh, he's a Nazi. He's a fascist.
Remember when they were pulled off the air when Donald Trump won? Remember when they couldn't come to work? Remember that?
Crybabies.
That's my point. Yeah.
And then they went to kiss his ring anyway. I got a quick question.
Of course they did.
I got a quick question for you all, especially Vinny, since you're in New Jersey, or Central Jersey, if you will. What's with you people over there?
Sure.
Oh, that's the wrong article. What's with you people over there? Apparently, the state is ending basic reading and writing skills test requirement for teachers.
Well, thank God. Let's not get people upset by having to take tests.
Yeah, but this way, if they're stupid, they can equate everything to Nazis. That's what happens.
Well, a lot of people don't like Governor Murphy because he's a leftist. He just doesn't care. I mean, I don't know why he's doing that. That's a disgrace. You know, I just don't get it. Just like you had that clip on with the talking about how Biden was so good and the economy is so good. These people are so brainwashed. It's not funny no more.
Exactly.
It's too much.
They want to create an assembly line for Sonny Hostins. They want to have Sonny Hostins to produce from the state of New Jersey. That's what they're going for, Vinny. They basically make her. They want to replicate her. She's like a lizard
Jersey
person.
Shore, the next generation.
Yeah. Man, oh man! I stumbled upon that the other day, Vinny. I was going through Pluto TV, and there was what was her name?
Snooki.
The situation and Snooki.
Snooki lives not that far, or she lived or grew up not that far from me.
Do you know her?
No, I do not. She lives in Ulster County, which is not far from.
I don't know.
The Jersey Shore.
I don't know her. I mean, that was a whole. I mean, that really gave all of us from Jersey a bad name. It really was not a good. Honestly, I'm a girl who. I mean, me and my friends when we were teenagers would call ourselves the Shore Girls, and we were cute, and we had a little house in Ortley Beach, and we went to the. The boardwalk, and later on I went to GJ's and the surf club, and I went to Belmar and Barre and all this stuff, right? Okay, and cousin Vinny's nodding because I know where you're from. I know where you're from. I got you.
Did you go to the Bendix Diner?
I think I probably have been there. I've been to a lot of diners, but the Bendix Diner was famous, but I don't know that I actually ever went to that particular diner.
Tiffany's is a good diner. That's Northern Jersey. I've been there. That was a good diner. A former football player. I think Tony Siragusa owned that for a little while. But now we're getting down into New Jersey trivia. This is a 80s trivia, New Jersey
trivia. I'll tell you that we have a lot of Jersey people in our chat. They go crazy when we talk about stuff like this because it really is. It's more to like it was a time and a place. Like there's a lot of nostalgia associated with New Jersey. Let's not let Jersey Shore take that away from the rest of us. We built that state. I refuse to be defined by the Jersey Shore. I hate it.
Yeah, well,
one of the guys I met, I liked a lot.
I put Point Pleasant's nice, Wildwood, Belmar. Those are the good, great spots, and they still are great spots. But now I saw that in Asbury, they're closing this big warehouse that's been around for years, and they're closing it because they won't give them no insurance for the building because of Hurricane Sandy.
That's incredible.
Because they need some Eddie Money. Eddie Money's from Jersey. Did you know that? Right, Chris?
That's right.
Eddie Money's
from
Jersey. I didn't know that. I love Eddie Money.
Mahoney. His real name was Mahoney, but he changed it to
Really?
Money. It was a good
wow.
The great Frank Sinatra is from Jersey. Chuck Wepner, the man who knocked down Muhammad Ali, he's from Jersey.
Yeah. Let's not forget that real left, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I knew you were going to mention him. I never really got into Springsteen. I mean, obviously everybody loves the song Jersey Girl because I am one. But other than that, I mean, Tunnel of Love was okay. But yeah, I can't get past his policies. The way he runs his life is just disturbing as an elitist.
When he was younger, his music was perfect. And then all of a sudden he got too political. That's the problem with everybody in the music industry and in the
well, not everybody. Not everybody, but there are a few.
People, look, the lefties when they get political.
Over to the left too. Did you see Cindy did a whole thing for Kamala on a bus?
Oh,
it was horrible. But I like her music. I like Cindy's music. I think it's great music. But
is she aging well? I'm curious. Is she aging well? I haven't seen her recently.
She's aging as well as anybody can be expected to, being in their 60s and still rock and rolling. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
trust me. Once you get in past 60, it's work. Everything is work.
It's rough. It's a rough business.
I know.
I agree.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm, so it's nothing, but some women are aging super graceful in their 60s. Look at Cherie Curry. Cherie's doing an
course.
amazing job. She
There's
just
a
turned
lot of,
65.
I got to tell you something. I'm looking at women that are in their 70s and 80s that I see that,
Yeah.
are women that I look up to that I think are beautiful and wonderful and have been around for decades. And the way that they're aging, I'm like, please tell me what you're doing. It's incredible.
Well,
It gives us all hope.
put that in the context of when you're watching the first year of All in the Family. Weren't Gene Stapleton and Carol O'Connor in their 40s?
Yeah. It's scary.
That's mind boggling. And the Golden
Mind-boggling.
Girls were in their 50s.
That's
Like,
right.
I don't know. Like,
Right.
I think Blanche was my age when the show started.
It's scary.
Wild.
I think
mind-boggling.
60 is a new 40. I think 60 is a new 40. Just saying. Except if you're Nancy
That's
Pelosi.
what Hillary said.
Well, yeah, Nancy Pelosi. I just love the walker though. I think that gives her a whole new look. Canard. Who wouldn't want to be a walker with Nancy Pelosi? I think it's quite the fashion statement.
As long as it's got a cup holder, Tony, just let's make sure it has a
There
cup
you go.
holder for that wine glass.
It is.
That's right. Hey, I still pick her over Delorio. Delorio's even worse.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
purple-haired chick.
Delorio. At least she's got some color. By the way, Vinny, why do women on the left always put purple or blue in their hair? Do you know? That's a
It's so-
mystery.
Well, for the cameras, purple's the best color to wear, and purple's the best color. The camera picks up on that very well. I mean, yeah, because when I did a couple of shows, they always told me, "Don't wear this, wear that, wear a purple shirt, wear this, wear that." But purple was the main thing, the main color for the camera. So that's why they wear purple. But today, everybody wears all different colors in their head, and they look like rainbows. So
Yeah. Well, I don't have any color in my hair. As a matter of fact, I'm lucky to have hair. Just saying. So I'm happy just having it.
It's good. I mean, at least you can see them coming. If they're a liberal, it's like when they were masking themselves. At least we knew who the idiots were, right? I mean, at least you knew the people that are still wearing masks in their cars, which I see to this day in South Florida. To this day.
Oh yeah.
I just look and I say to myself, like, at least you're letting me know exactly what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of dealing, and we got to go. It's been another great hour. So
And we're in overtime.
Cousin Vinny, thank you all for being here and letting us make fun of Jersey because we love Jersey.
Yeah.
Karen's from Jersey, so we love Jersey, right, Karen? Thank you, Karen.
I do. I love Jersey. I'm sending a drone to look for Cousin Vinny. We're going to start in Cliffside Park. We're doing a radius. We're doing a
county
sweep.
search.
Or we should all meet at the Bendix Diner. That makes it a little easier.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's right.
No
I don't know when you're
Saddlebrook Diner. Saddlebrook Diner.
Yeah, it's close
when
to
you're in
the
a
woods, but-
protection, you got to be careful. Just saying. So, and Chris, thank you for being not being Ed McMahon and being sober.
Hey-yo.
We always appreciate. Hey-yo. Thank God I never have to worry about you being it's in Santa Monica wandering the streets trying to get to work. Thank
Water
God.
or vodka.
Hey, I know Nancy Pelosi and you're no Nancy Pelosi. Just saying. Who said that? Who said that?
I have prettier hair.
That's true. Yeah, and you don't use a walker. So
Not anymore.
Walker Texas Ranger, right?
That's
We could make a TV series out of Nancy's new walker.
Certainly
Walker.
better than Jacob DeGrom, Texas Ranger at this point, but that's fine.
That's
He's
right.
no longer a Met.
Hey, now that's a mix. Now see, we could get our Hollywood friends on the phone. Nancy Pelosi, Justin Trudeau, and Walker Canadian Ranger. That's a great series. That's a TV series. That's a TV series right there.
And guys, real quick before we go, I just want to say prayers for Granny with a gun. Pat is unfortunately ill. We have a lot of people in the chat that are praying for her. Trixie and I are going to talk offline and we're going to put together a little prayer circle for her. So just want to let everybody know where
Thank you,
at.
Karen.
Thank
you
of
for
course.
handling the prayers. Thank you all for being here.
And of course,
Vinny,
you Canadian Mounties.
That's right. Well, you can't say Mounties on this show. That's against the rules. So sorry. Anyway, we got to go. It's been a great show. Karen, thank you for handling the prayers. Prayers to everybody. Be be grateful for the great country we have, our health, our family, and us. We're a great team. You're part of the team. We're part of the team. It's all good. So until tomorrow, we'll see you then. Take care.
Take care.